6:45 a.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by J. Yogaraj and read by Mario Vijayavardhana. The headline: An effective plan to curb the COVID-19 challenge. Travel restrictions only relaxed and not removed on May 25th, the Army Chief says. New guidelines issued for COVID-19 testing in private labs. The black fungus case not detected in Sri Lanka, experts confirm. The daily COVID infections tally climbs to 2,959 yesterday. In COVID news, 32 victims take the death toll to 1,210. In news overseas, Belarus diverts Ryanair flight to arrest journalist, opposition says. In sports, Mushfiqur Miraz give Bangladesh one lead despite Hasaranga heroics. The government has devised an effective plan to curb the COVID-19 challenge in a successful manner. The State Pharmaceuticals Corporation SLBC chairman Dr. Prasanna Gunasena yesterday expressed hope that the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic can be arrested by the end of June. Dr. Gunasena said that plans have been drawn to completely control the pandemic in the country with the vaccination of the targeted population by the end of December. The background has already been created to end this menace in the country by December end, he said. Dr. Gunasena said the country requires only 29 million vaccine doses to vaccinate the targeted population. Arrangements have been made to bring in 32 million doses of the vaccines to inoculate the entire population above 20 years of age by December 31st. He was speaking at a meeting of the Presidential Task Force on COVID Control held under the patronage of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. This stock includes 14 million doses of the Chinese Sinopharm vaccine, 13 million doses of the Russian Sputnik V, and 5 million doses of the US-German Pfizer vaccine. The travel restrictions imposed on the island are only relaxed on May 25th tomorrow and not removed, the head of the National Operations Centre for the Prevention of the COVID-19 Outbreak, General Shavendra Silva, states. The island-wide travel restrictions that came into effect from 11 p.m. on Friday, May 21st, will be relaxed at 4 a.m. on Tuesday, May 25th, and will be reimposed at 11 p.m. on the same day. The Army Commander emphasizes that the sole purpose of relaxing the travel restrictions on Tuesday is to allow the public to purchase essential goods and services such as food and medicine. Only essential goods and service providers, such as groceries selling food items, pharmacies and filling stations will be allowed to remain open when the travel restrictions are relaxed, the Department of Government Information states. In addition, only one person per household will be allowed to go out for the purchasing of the essential items. Liquor shops will also remain closed and non-essential public gatherings will not be permitted, General Shavendra Silva says. The same regulations will be effective when the travel restrictions are relaxed again at 4 a.m. on May 28th. The implementation of travel restrictions for the coming weekend, that is May 29th and 30th, will be determined after reviewing the situation on May 28th, the department states. One of Sri Lanka's biggest fears is the presence of the black fungus in the island, which has stirred quite a storm in India nowadays. The Deputy Director General of Education and Research at the Ministry of Health, Dr. Hemantha Herath, said that experts have confirmed that the infection in question reported in the country was not a result of the black fungus, also known as mucormycosis. Further information on the matter will be provided to the public in the near future, he further said. It was reported on Saturday that an individual from Ampara was allegedly infected with the black fungus, a rare but potentially fatal infection spreading among COVID-19 patients in India. According to foreign media, India has recorded nearly 9,000 cases of the black fungus so far. Many of those who were infected were coronavirus patients or those who were recovering from COVID-19. Diabetics were identified as a high-risk group of the rare infection. Mucormycosis is caused by exposure to the mucor mold found in damp environments such as soil, plants, manure, and decaying fruits and vegetables. This infection affects the sinuses, the brain, and the lungs. Diabetics or severely immunocompromised individuals have been identified as particularly at a high risk. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Now, EPF information and services through an SMS from HDFC Bank.
Daily COVID-19 cases count moved to 2,959 yesterday as 705 more people tested positive for the virus in Sri Lanka. This brings the total number of confirmed cases of the coronavirus reported in the country to 164,201. The Government Information Department states that 2,945 of the new cases reported are associated with the New Year coronavirus cluster. 14 others were identified as arrivals from foreign countries. As many as 128,607 recoveries and 1,210 deaths have been confirmed in Sri Lanka since the outbreak of the pandemic. According to official data, up to 34,384 active cases are currently under medical care. Sri Lanka has registered 32 more victims of COVID-19, the Director General of Health Services confirmed. Official data showed that latest fatalities have moved the country's death toll to 1,210. 5 of the deaths took place today and the 27 other victims have succumbed to the virus infection, while the rest between the period of April 23rd and May 22nd, the Department of Government Information states. The deceased were identified as residents of the Mathale, Nigambo, Kotugoda, Narangoda, Hassalaka, Gala, Badulla, Panadura, Kalleliya, Alawa, Polonnaruwa, Kalutara South, Bogahakumbura, Imaduwa, Mavanella, Kaatankudi, Katukitula, Enderamulla, Hava Elia, Hatton, Pannipitiya, Maharagama, Minuwangoda, Kalavana, Ruwanwella, Matugama and Nugegoda areas. Reportedly 14 victims in total were aged above 71 years. 9 victims were in the age group of 61 to 70 years, while there were aged between 51 to 60 years too. 5 victims were in their 40s and the remaining victim was a 28-year-old male. COVID pneumonia and complications from chronic diseases such as diabetes and heart diseases have been identified as the cause of death of the victims. The Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation, which conducts the Ratana Sutra and Pirit chanting program at island-wide Viharayas, has organised today's program at the Vallavatta Shri Bodhirukkarame Mahaviharaya. This is the 201st program in the series. This chanting program will be aired live from 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. through the Sinhala commercial service and the City FM service of the SLBC. That's local news.
දැන් HDFC බැංකුවෙන් EPF ණයතොරතුරු හා සේවාවන් SMS එකකින්
රාජ්‍ය හා පෞද්ගලිකංශයේ රැකියාවේ නියුතු ඔබ කොහේ සිටියත් EPF ණයතොරතුරු හා සේවාවන් ලබා ගැනීම සඳහා කළ යුත්තේ EPF හිස්තැනක් නම හා ප්‍රදේශය සඳහන් කර 071 8 800 999ට SMS එකක් එවීම පමණයි.
HDFC බැංකුව ඔබ අප සුරකින්න බැංකුව.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
The Ministry of Health has issued specific guidelines to private hospitals that conduct the COVID-19 RT-PCR and the rapid antigen tests. Dr. Asela Gunawardena, the Director General of Health Services, on Saturday issued written instructions to the laboratory heads of the relevant private hospitals regarding the new guidelines. Accordingly, private laboratories are to adhere to the following guidelines when testing for the COVID-19 infection. The tests should be carried out only when it is indicated as per the recommendations of the consultant or the medical officer in charge of the triage counter. After obtaining the samples, the patients should be advised to isolate inside the institution or home until the report is issued. If a patient is found to be COVID-19 positive, it is a responsibility of the hospital to inform the epidemiology unit of the Ministry of Health, the medical officer of health in the respective area, and the patient. The laboratory or hospital must arrange for the positive patients to be accommodated in an authorized COVID-19 treatment center as per the recommendations of the responsible physician. The Director General of Health Services further states that if any hospital does not abide by the aforementioned guidelines, the authorization of the laboratory to perform the COVID-19 PCR tests and the rapid antigen tests will be cancelled. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
And now in Watchlight, the residents in many city limits complained about the non-collection of garbage on time. As a result, the garbage gets piled up and sometimes is seen scattered all over the place. This has caused immense difficulties to the local residents and the motorists. This is for the attention of the municipal councils and the urban council authorities. That came to you in Watchlight, and now in world news headlines. Belarus diverts Ryanair flight to arrest journalist, the opposition says. China ultramarathon, severe weather kills 21 runners. Mount Enyarangonggo, volcanic eruption in DR Congo leaves people homeless. A Ryanair plane from Greece to Lithuania was diverted to Belarus for several hours on Sunday, with activists saying it was done to arrest a dissident journalist on board. European nations reacted with outrage, accusing Belarus of state terrorism. The ex-editor of the Nexta Group, Roman Protsevich, was detained before the plane was allowed to resume its flight. Belarus media said a MiG-29 escorted the jet to Minsk because of a bomb scare, but no explosives were found. 21 runners have died after extreme weather struck a long-distance race in the northwestern China area. High winds and freezing rain hit participants in the 100-kilometer ultramarathon in the Yellow River Stone Forest, a tourist site in Ganzhou province, on Saturday. The race was halted when some of the 172 runners went missing and a rescue operation was launched. Many of the stranded runners reportedly suffered from hypothermia. Residents in the Democratic Republic of Congo have returned to destroyed houses after a large volcano erupted, with many searching for missing loved ones. Mount Enyarangonggo turned the sky red and spewed out a river of lava on Saturday, but stopped short of Goma, a city of 2 million just south of the volcano. At least 15 deaths have been confirmed, but the number is likely to rise as officials reach the hardest hit areas. 9 of the victims died in a traffic accident as people fled. And now the main points of the world news segment once again. Belarus diverts Ryanair flight to arrest journalist, the opposition says. China ultramarathon severe weather kills 21 runners. Mount Enyeragongongo volcanic eruption in DR Congo leaves people homeless. That was world news, and now in development news. The Panamureale tank is being renovated to provide irrigation facilities to 1,600 hectares of paddy lands for the upcoming Yala and Maha seasons. A dam will be constructed with a length of 200 meters across the Kitalabuku Oya. The proposed dam is expected to provide irrigation facilities to Panamure, Igorera and Pallegama areas. That was development news.
Sports News is brought to you by...
When Aya bought a motorbike, he bought 2 helmets. So sweet of him. I'm sure the other one is for me.
In whatever we do, we Sri Lankans are always thinking of others. When we get Munchie Super Cream Crackers, they're not just for ourselves. Munchie Super Cream Cracker. Super kiyanne nikan neve.
In cricket news, Mehdi Hassan took 4 for 30 to wreck Sri Lanka's top order and set Bangladesh on track to defend their 257 for 6, which in the end they managed easily despite a valiant one in the Hasaranga innings. That they were chasing so many on a sluggish surface was down to Mushfiqur Rahim's 87 off 84, as well as half-centuries from Mamadullah and Tamim Iqbal. It had been a 107-run 5th wicket stand between Rahim and Mamadullah that raised Bangladesh from a difficult middle overs position and delivered them in a healthy state to the death overs. For scores, Bangladesh batted first and made 257 for 6. Sri Lanka in reply were bowled out for 224. The second ODI between the two countries will be played tomorrow, the 25th of May, at the same venue as a day and night encounter.
My wife always sets a full lunch table even if it's just the two of us. She always expects people to drop by, like maybe the army.
In whatever we do, we Sri Lankans are always thinking of others. When we get Munchie Super Cream Crackers, they're not just for ourselves. Munchie Super Cream Cracker. Super kiyanne nikan neve.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Hemas Holdings PLC continued its recovery from a challenging first 6 months with Q3 financial year 2019-2020 group revenues and operating profits broadly in line with Q3 FY 2018-19. On a quarter-on-quarter basis, strength over Q2 FY 19-20 revenue grew by 2.3 billion rupees, 14.9% over Q2, while operating profit and earnings rose by 1.2 billion rupees and 767.5 million rupees. This growth was driven by the consumer and healthcare businesses, with strong performances by Atlas during the import back-to-school season, said the Group Chief Executive Officer of Hemas Holdings, Stephen Enderby.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money. Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic news. Courtesy of...
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
The Colombo Stock Exchange confirms that trading will function as per regular trading hours from 11 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. on May 24th, 25th and the 28th. However, the market will be closed on May 26th and the 27th due to Vesak Poya holidays.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
The Met Department says the southwest monsoon condition is gradually establishing over the country. Showers or thundershowers will occur at times in the western, Sabaragamuwa, central, northwestern and the southern provinces. Heavy falls above 100 millimeters can be expected at some places in the western and the Sabaragamuwa provinces and in the Gala, Matara, Kandy and Nuwara Elia districts. Several spells of showers will occur in the northern and the north-central provinces. Showers or thundershowers will occur at a few places in the eastern and the Uva provinces during the evening or night. Wind speeds can increase up to 40 to 50 kilometers per hour at times over the island, and especially wind speeds can increase up to 50 to 55 kilometers per hour at times in the western slopes of the central hills and in the northern, north-central, the northwestern and the Uva provinces and in the Hambantota district. This weather report was issued this morning at 4:30 a.m. Further details could be obtained by visiting the official website of the department.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
And now the headlines of this news broadcast once again. An effective plan to curb the COVID-19 challenge. Travel restrictions only relaxed and not removed on May 25th, the Army Chief says. New guidelines issued for COVID-19 testing in private labs. The black fungus case not detected in Sri Lanka, experts confirm. The daily COVID infections tally climbs to 2,959 yesterday. In COVID news, 32 new victims take the death toll to 1,210. In news overseas, Belarus diverts Ryanair flight to arrest journalist, opposition says. In sports, Mushfiqur Miraz give Bangladesh one lead despite Hasaranga heroics. That concludes this news broadcast, and now it's back to your host Sharifa Tahir. On the other side, well, it is a new environment for the both of us today, Sherry, isn't it? We are in a new studio with new technology, I think, and new systems to get used to. So yes, Sherry, you are doing an amazing job, I think, with the new consoles on the other side. Over to you.